Okay, this Talk About Games, we are talking about Star Control Origins. What was the original Star Control?
Okay, so the original Star Control was a game made by Fred Ford, and I don't know how to pronounce the other guy's name, but Paul Reich, I guess. And it was a game that was published by Acclaim, and I guess the version that you're most likely going to be able to get is either the PC version or the Sega Genesis version.
Oh, was the Sega Genesis just Star Control? I thought it was Star Control 2.
That was just Star Control.
It's Star Control, okay.
And
Ryan and I had played the Genesis version once, and it's not good.
So Star Control was really a game that was about the battle system. Mm-hmm. And the battle system of Star Control is much like the battle system in this game, where you have the top-down map and the gravity. Mm-hmm. It's like asteroids.
Yeah.
But the thing that made Star Control cool is all the different ships have different abilities. And so all the different alien races have different abilities, and it's really cool.
The battle is also like the battle sections in like the old Star Trek games, like Star Trek The Next Generation on Genesis and stuff, except in Star Control it's actually done well.
Yeah.
There it's like, I don't know, if you don't know anything about Star Control, it's basically Star Trek to a degree, which I like. It's
funny, the earlier Star Control games, the Earthling Cruiser looks like the Enterprise with 4 nacelles.
Oh, really?
So imagine if you took the Enterprise and it has the 2 nacelles on the back. What if it had 2 more behind that?
Oh.
And the ship
So is that in the first Star Control, or is it in this one?
It's in both.
Okay.
The first Star Control and the second Star Control have the same exact ships in it, except the Star Control 2 adds more.
Is this considered to be like the really good one?
This is the good one, and what changed was Star Control 2, again, it came out for PC, it came out for 3DO. The 3DO version is known as the best version because it had voice acting and a little different music, but you can get everything that's in this game for free, open source. There's a product called the Ur-Quan Masters, and you can download this game in its entirety for free.
Is that like remastered, or is that game exactly?
It's this game.
Okay.
You can add the 3DO language packs and stuff into it. So you can play this game on your PC. It's a lot better.
How do you find that exactly?
Just search for Ur-Quan Masters.
Okay.
Because there's big controversy in Star Control land right now.
Before you go on to that, since we're holding up the box.
Yeah.
So Ryan also has this map.
And the book.
I just want to mention. So this map, I believe, is fairly rare.
It comes with this. Yeah.
Well, it comes with that.
But who has a 3DO?
Like these days, yeah. But I did want to mention, so I think back then, like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you probably needed the map to play the game, whereas now the map of the constellations and all that, the map of the galaxy is in the game.
So
right?
the map is in Star Control 2.
Oh, it is. Okay.
But, like, it's a 480p screen. It doesn't scroll. It's all on one map. So scrolling and finding like the Cassiopeia system and then finding the stars on it is hard.
Okay.
And this one is
it like Where's Waldo on NES trying to find Waldo?
It sucks. It's exactly like that. It's a great example. It sucks, but having that. The other thing is this book, like, this is from the era of it's towards the end of the era of great instruction manuals. What's cool about it is it has like some puzzles and mysteries. There's like a little strategy guide in here because the game doesn't really tell you what you want to do. Like, look where all the coordinates are written.
Oh my God, you like actually have a lot of stuff written.
Right in here. Like knowing where the alien homeworlds are, stuff like that. You know what's
funny? Seeing like stuff written down. As I was playing this game, Star Control Origin, I was writing a bunch of stuff down because there is so much going on that it's like there's a lot to keep track of, and I was like, oh my God, okay, I gotta write this planet down. I know that there's like objectives and stuff you can go to like keep track, but there was some stuff in the game where it was like, we want you to go to this planet.
Right.
But they don't tell you where that planet is, so because when you can put information into your map, it's like what the solar system is. Like if you want to go to Earth, you don't type in Earth. That doesn't come up. You type in Sol.
Yes.
So you go to the solar system.
Yes.
And that I was keeping track of the planet names because they're like fictional planets, most of them. And it's kind of like if I found a planet, what solar system was it in? So I was trying to keep track.
I didn't get to this part, but in this game, when you discover a homeworld of a race, does it put a circle on the map of their where they live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I played the game 4 hours. I had never played a Star Control game. I know Ryan's played a lot of it. for my first experience, I was like, am I gonna like this? Am I not gonna like this? I really liked it a lot. I don't know, since I haven't played the older ones, I don't know if I like those, but I enjoyed this quite a bit, which was surprising to me because you guys know I'm not like a huge like story guy, but the game has a real sense of humor to it, and definitely. It was very like the characters were very like they're very vibrant and colorful, and I like that. It's not a game that's very like dark and gloomy. It's not really like that. Even though a lot of the characters like want you dead and stuff, it's kind of like almost comical. Yeah. So I was having a really good time with it.
I love the dialogue system in this game. I think I enjoy the dialogue system in this game more than almost any other game, where it's really easy to like, you can read it on the bottom, you can skip. It has voice acting.
If you click, you can actually skip it. But like, so what I found with reading the dialogue was like some parts of it I wanted to read because if it was like some stupid sentence and the guy's saying a joke, I'm like skipping it. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. So I'm like clicking through it, but then he says something important, and then I stop and like read it. I'm like, okay, go to this planet, and then write down the planet and stuff, and then I'm like kind of skipping.
But isn't it nice how you can do both?
Yeah, it's really nice cool. Actually.
And I like that it has dialogue trees and all of this. All the features you've talked about, from hyperspace to flying around on the planets to talking to the aliens to the battle system to all of that. It's Star Control 2.
Okay, it's all taken from it.
It's all taken from it. Star Control Origins is a modern reimagination of the Star Control 2 system. And what Stardock was trying to do with this game is not only create a new story, but also create a system so that people can build their own worlds. So you know somebody's going to build like the Federation and like Star Trek and all
there
that.
Are like a lot of Star Trek references. There's something called I wrote it down, but I don't have it here. It's like the primitive directive or something like that, and it's like it's basically Prime Directive, right? And I like called that out. I'm like, oh, like the Prime Directive, and then like right after that, the aliens like. Never heard that somewhere before. Right. You know, so they like make fun of it and good whatever. Moments. But the game is, you know, I've already said this, but it is very much like Star Trek. Like your ship, you want to add in like different members of the crew. And I didn't really exactly know, so it was kind of like add more crew, but I didn't, because I haven't played like enough of it. I don't know, like what is that doing for you? Like adding more crew. Is that like if you die?
So
like, I don't.
In all Star Control games, your crew is your life. So as you lose life in battle, they're actually killing the crew on the ship.
Okay.
But then this
So if you have more crew, you stay alive longer? It's like a health meter?
It's like a health meter.
All right.
This game also added the ability to put more like specialized crew members in that give you different abilities and things like that.
Okay.
So the other thing is, in the original game, in Star Control 2, they actually charged you resources to get by your crew back. Whereas in this game, when you go to the space station, they just replenish it automatically. So that's a little easier. I found the combat a little bit easier than Star Control 2. Star Control 2 is a pretty punishing game.
Yeah, I didn't have a hard time with it. There's different ships. I mean, I'm sure it gets harder later, but you have your basic ship, which just like shoots whatever, photon torpedoes or whatever it is. Then you have another ship, which is the
Taiwan.
The Taiwan ship. Did you get that?
Yes.
And that one also kind of shoots lasers, and I think so I got the ship that was kind of like a squid, and that's sort of as far as I am, and that one shoots out like an ink like a squid would. And then what's also interesting, there's no like long range weapons with that ship. So if you come in contact with the Scryve, you have to like ramming speed, you have to ram your ship into them, and then the tentacles just go like this, and it's super strong, and it's just like I got to a point where I don't know if it was the Scryve homeworld, and those are the like enemies, at least in the beginning. Scryve. And I think the alien says that in there, but so I got to, or it was one of their bases or something, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna die here because all their ships just came out, and I was surprised that one by one I was able to kill them. I lost 2 of my ships doing it, but I actually ended up killing like the main dude that you talk to, and I was like, oh wow, I'm surprised I got through that. So the game isn't like so hard that you can't get through it either, at least not yet. I'm sure it gets really hard.
So one thing about Star Control 2 is the story of Star Control 2 takes place after Star Control 1, where the bad guys won. So at the end of Star Control 1, The bad guys win.
I love that, by the way, when the bad guys win.
Yeah. They enslave Earth. They enslave, like, everybody.
Okay.
Like, the Chenjesu, which is... By the way, Stardock doesn't own the rights to any of the aliens in Star Control 1 or 2. So, you're not going to find Yehat, Shofixti, Chenjesu, Spathi,
So it's all...
Vux.
Okay.
Any Umga, I could probably name them all. That's how much I love Star Control 1 and 2. But you're not going to find any of them in the game. But and that goes to what we'll talk about at the end.
Do you think that for you, since you've played so much of those, is that good for you because it's all new?
It's cool.
Yeah.
It is cool. I could see different like they're kind of mirroring it a little bit. Like the squid people are probably a lot like the Urs. Mm-hmm. Like, do they talk in weird sentences, like weird sentence structure? Like
they were maybe a little bit, but they were. Yeah. They also said like, I forget what it was like blub, like a lot. Yeah. There was like little things like that.
Oh, okay.
And then they also what I thought was weird is they're fish, but they like to eat fish. And then I was like, well, fish eat fish, so right. I guess that's okay. But it was a little weird. Did you think it was weird that the slug guys were like kind of like
they're like sexual deviants a little bit or something?
They're like I'm feeling moist. Are you moist? I want to massage you.
Yeah, and they're like, are you sexy?
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
but what I like is the responses you can give are like, you're weird and like shit like that.
They're like. Every time that happens, let's call it a communication problem, right? It's funny.
Yeah, one of the things I have to mention is, so when you have, for people that haven't played it, when you have your ship, you go to a planet, or actually you really go to like the moons, usually around the planets, and then you land on the moon and you collect minerals and different stuff like that. So when you drop down in a little like lander, drop ship, whatever, there is a thing that's very much like Pilot Wings with the skydiving.
Yeah.
And you sort of go through like hoops or whatever, and then you land your ship, and you go around, you collect the minerals, and you hit escape, and then you can boom back up to your ship. You can only collect so many minerals, and then you go up and then you drop them off, and that's what you use to sell to get more stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How many landers have you lost?
Right when I started playing the game, I didn't know how to do it because I had never played the game before, and I lost both of them.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, and the main thing about this game, it's kind of like Doom or something. You got to keep making saves all the time so that you can load your progress again.
Everything about the Planet Lander stuff you're talking about was the same in Star Control 2, except in Star Control 2, you could drop the ship anywhere on the planet, and you didn't have to go in any path. It would always land successfully.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like that they make it like there's something to do
as
you go down.
Yeah.
And like even also like some of the planets, some of like the moons you visit, there's like lava going off and different things that you gotta
dodge it.
Yeah, stuff like that, which is really cool. And like as far as like the story goes, it's really interesting because so the Scryve or Scurv, like Scryve. So the Scryve are the bad guys, and I'm really interested to see where this is gonna go because I don't like the slug dudes like become your friends early on, and I don't trust them at all, like personally, because they're like. First of all, they're friends with the Scryve, or at one point they are, and then they're not. They are, and then they're not. So I'm like, what's the deal here? Are they gonna like end up killing us eventually? And then what you find out a little bit later, I don't know if you got to this part, but there's an alien that you encounter that like comes up to your ship, and he's like wants to fight you and stuff, but he's like, well, what's your deal? And you're like, well, I'm trying to kill the Scryve, and he's like, oh, we know the Scryve, we don't like them either, but let me tell you, they're like a dying race, and they're like lashing out at everybody. I almost wonder, this is just me thinking about the game, are you gonna find out later that like the Scryve are actually good and that like everybody else is attacking them? And like I'm starting to like think very deeply about it, and I'm like, wow, this game is like really cool.
So let me hit you with something.
Yeah.
In the original Star Control 2, there's a time limit.
Oh shit.
When you travel through space.
Yeah.
The clock goes up. And in Star Control 2, the Ur-Quan are separated into two races. The green ones are the Kazurza, and the black ones are the Kohr-Ah.
Okay.
The green ones are the ones that won Star Control 1.
Okay.
And their goal is to enslave all the races.
Okay.
And they went in a counterclockwise direction around the universe. The Kohr-Ah went in a clockwise direction, and their goal was to exterminate all of the races.
Right.
When on a certain date, the Kazurza lose the war.
Okay.
And then they just...
they're the green ones?
The green ones.
Okay.
And then the Kohr-Ah start going from race to race, killing them off. So like if they got to the Taiwan, you'd see their circle disappear.
Okay.
And then they finally, after a certain amount of time, they get to Earth, destroy it, and then that's a hard game over, no recovery from save, anything.
Was this the same game that I saw you playing maybe a year ago and you had put a ton of time into it? And then I'm like, oh, go over to this planet and try doing this. And then like it set you back like months.
No, that was Stellaris.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought maybe it was this. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. That was Stellaris. But in that game, there's a lot of different ways to get all the pieces you need. Because the goal of it was to get to a certain star system where their battleship is and destroy the battleship, which would end their conflict.
Okay.
And that's what you managed to do if you beat the game. And you don't have to become allies with everybody. You don't even have to meet everybody.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. So,
yeah.
So this is a beatable game?
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't know. Because what blew my mind is that when you start off, you're just in the solar system, and there's a lot to do just when you start the solar system. I probably spent an hour there, just in the solar system. And then you find out, you zoom out the map, and you're like, oh, fuck. Because it's humongous, the map.
There's like 1 trillion solar systems. It's great.
I really want to know how many hours like this game would be to beat.
So I'm curious if the Scryve will eventually just come and destroy Earth. If you don't
do the right thing
quickly enough.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's one of the things at Star Control 2. It's like you better be here for a certain amount of time. So like when I play it, I know there's things I want to do.
Did people generally like the time limit? Did you like the time limit, or would you rather it not? Like if this game, I don't know if this game has a time limit or not, but what would you prefer?
I have never gotten to the end. Like they give you a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've never gotten to the point where the Ur-Quan destroy everything.
Okay.
But the Ur-Quan don't exist in Origins because Stardock bought the rights to Star Control when Atari went bankrupt. They bought the trademark and they bought the rights to Star Control 3, which were made by Accolade. Star Control 3 sucks.
Is there a fourth one too?
No. Okay. This is the fourth one.
Oh, this is the fourth. Okay.
Yeah. So Fred Ford and Paul Reich, you may know them. They made a little game called Skylanders, right? So they've been very successful since they made Star Control.
Right.
And they always said, we're going to go back to Star Control. We're going to go back to Star Control. We're going to go back.
And they have.
And, well, no, because they have nothing to do with this game whatsoever.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
So they basically announced sometime last year that they were being sued by Stardock because they decided that they were going to come out with a sequel to Star Control 2 called Ghosts of the Precursors.
Okay.
And they said, we're just going to call it Ghosts of the Precursors.
And they're not going to connect the Star Control name on it?
Because we don't own the trademark. We own this. We own that.
Yeah.
Since then, they found out that Atari didn't pay their royalty payments.
Oh, my God.
So, technically speaking, Fred Ford and Paul Reich should own all of Star Control. Well, what happened was Stardock recently came back and said, you know what? Not only do you not own the trademark, but you don't own anything.
Yeah.
And they sued them.
Wow.
So right now...
I didn't know any of this.
So right now there's this huge legal battle going on where the people who made Star Control 1 and Star Control 2 want to make a game called Ghosts of the Precursors, don't want to talk about Star Control, don't want to do anything. And they sent them basically terms that said, this is what we're going to agree to. Whereas Stardock is saying, we bought it, we own it, that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
We're going to make Star Control Origins, and you just have to deal with
that. That's that, yeah.
In fact, they've already started making like DLC with the original characters that they didn't use originally.
Wow.
So if you go to dogarandkazan.com, you could see the lawsuit progress from Fred and Paul's point of view, and you can even read they're uploading all of the court filings. So you can watch the conversation go back and forth.
Well, for me, as somebody that doesn't have a stake in the whole history of Star Control, and this being the first one I've ever played,
it's good.
I like it a lot. like I said, I spent 4 hours with it. People like to see me play like retro games,
right?
So I don't know entirely how much I'm personally gonna stream it, but I'm really interested in it, and I might play more of it on my own at least for a while, because I really want to see where it goes. It's a definite recommend for me, but I think you got to be a kind of person that wants to like you have to like Star Trek.
You have to like Star Trek. You have to like sci-fi. You have to like what is basically an old style game. I have to say, Star Control Origins for me is turning out better than I thought it would. And despite the fact that there's all those legal battles and things like that, I'm really excited to dive in and play more of it. Like, I think it's great.
Yeah, it's really good.
I do, however, have to say that I would love to see Ghosts of the Precursors with all the old races and the original writing that made the series really great. You look back to old games like, be it Star Control 2 or Maniac Mansion or Monkey Island, like games like that. They just have incredible writing. And I really hope that they have the opportunity to do that. But in the meantime, I was a founding backer of Star Control Origins.
Yeah.
So they sent us like PDFs every month and audio tracks. Like, so I've been listening.
Did they have a Kickstarter or something? Or
no, yeah. Well, they had their own like sale.
Thing? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Stardock's a pretty big company.
Okay.
But I backed it, and it was really cool because I've been watching the development of this game for like 3 years.
Okay.
And every month they sent us like a zip file with stuff. Like, I saw pictures of aliens and stuff 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I saw the Taiwan like 2 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
And the fact that now we're all finally getting to see them and stuff like that is really awesome.
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm not sure what else to say about it.
If you don't want to go through all the RPG stuff, you could just play Hyper Melee and you could pick from all the ships.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
you could just plug a controller in, plug 2 controllers into your PC.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention. So I plugged a controller in, and you can play this game with a controller, but I was playing it with the mouse and keyboard. I don't know. I guess since this was originally a console game, do you play it with the keyboard, or do you play it with the? I
like playing the RPG with the keyboard, but if I'm playing Hyper Melee, I like using the controller.
The controller. Okay, so I guess it's interchangeable.
So like, if you just want to have friends over and play, you can play
just that part of it.
That part of it, and that's what a lot of kids did.
Yeah.
Like when I had friends over to play Star Control as a kid,
that's what you show them.
You just play
because you can't sit for 100 hours with a friend and like really do that.
Right. I mean,
but you can,
but if you just want to fight, you can make a team of 8 ships, and every time you lose a ship, it crosses it off, and you have to pick another one. So you're trying to like counter your friend which ships you're gonna pick, to get through it and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So it's pretty cool. It's a nice mode.
Yeah.
Oh, did you go to the series base where you can like test all your ships?
Was that like the training?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did that right in the beginning because I had no idea how to play because I hadn't played before. So I did that first. And then basically right after that, I just went around the solar system and I was like just trying to figure out how to play the game. One of the first things you do. I wanted to mention this about the game. So you go around and you find uranium on one of the planets, and then you go to the moon, like Earth's moon. There's like this plant, and basically I don't know if you got what it is, but what you get is a cannon for your lander, which I ended up getting that late. So I went to this planet, and there was an alien, and I think it was one of the fish alien I was telling you
and you couldn't shoot them.
And well, what happened was you had to bring that ship back to their homeworld or something. So, but you couldn't just do that at first because they're like, we can't leave yet because there's this beast here. And if you want to kill the beast, you got to go shoot him with your lander. And I'm like, oh shit, well, I don't have that. So it took me a while to like go back and get I tried to get back to Earth, but my ship ran out of gas.
Yeah.
And if your ship runs out of gas, then the Taiwan come and...
the Taiwan do?
It's
not a different alien?
The slug dudes.
Oh, the slug dudes come?
They come and I forget their names.
Yeah.
But the slug dudes come and the creepy guys. They come and they refill your ship. You get back to Earth. I got the weapon. I go back there and I go to kill the beast. And the dude's like, oh, by the way, that beast is like a god of like a race. So now I feel like I killed the beast and now I go back to the fish people and they're like, oh, thanks so much for like for doing that, now we're gonna join your federation, and that's how I got the fucking the tentacle ship. But at the same time, I killed another race's god. So now I'm like, what's gonna happen later when this race finds out I killed their god?
And they're like badass.
Yeah,
like,
they're gonna be like, you killed our god.
Yeah.
And by the way, the other thing about this is when you kill that god, it's just like this like animal walking around. You kill it. He doesn't do anything. He just like da 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 da, like a little rabbit or something. Yeah. I mean, he's like a beast looking thing. But you just kill it. He doesn't fight back. It doesn't do anything, and you like mercilessly like kill it.
Yeah.
And you're it made me feel bad, and I'm like, it didn't even like fight back. And then I go to the fish. I'm like, I killed the guy, and he's like, yeah, great, good. Like, join our federation. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. In Star Control 2, the people who built the defense array on the moon for the gun are actually the Andros.
Oh, does that same thing with you get the gun on the moon?
No, you just have the gun.
Oh, you have it. Okay.
But the humans also built like a futuristic human called the Androsynth. And in Star Control 2, they flee to where the squid people are, which are called the Urs. Okay. And the Urs just kill them all.
So that has squid people too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the squid people just murder them all.
Yeah.
And they're just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
You know?
That sounds very similar.
They're like, we're not doing anything over here.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to join your federation. I'm like, okay.
It's so fucked up.
Cool, guys.
Yeah. Anyhow, it's a good game. You guys should check it out. I think you should play it. It's a recommend from me.
It's good.
Yeah. That's good.
It's good.